Why those two?
Well, and initially the island motif was going to figure even more widely than it did. But I mean, islands are just wonderful metaphors for writers because no man is an island, yet everyone really is. We live in our little isolated worlds, and we create not only these sort of hothouse cultures in our immediate environment, but in our own psyche. We are little ecologies that evolve in their own bizarre ways. So I guess for me the island was a kind of metaphor of the human experience, and I wanted to play that out in various ways, and it ties in very nicely with the evolutionary motif that runs throughout the book. I think Montreal is a perfect kind of microcosm for that as well. I mean, Canada is you could look at Canada in evolutionary terms as this place that is the hybrid land of the world. It's the one where really the specimens that are able to get away from their home environments come to create new forms of life, really. We are a kind of Darwinian experiment. On the whole, a very successful one.
Alex is, what's the technical term? A bit of a dick.
He can be, yes.
In this book for a long time, and I think it's the origin of a man. And so I have to ask: is it you? At that age?
Oh, there's no right answer to that.
No, there isn't. This is my entrapment question.
I often think that my protagonists are who I might have been, had the worst happen. So that sort of a way of exercising the worst sides of myself. So there's definitely aspects of me in Alex, though everything is sort of pushed a bit further in him.
Were you in Montreal at that age, at that time?
I was in Montreal in that period, in that exact period, and some of the experiences he has are based on my own experiences. The character of Esther in the book is based on a friend of mine who I knew at the time. So a lot of the superficial details are autobiographical. The character in his essence is not, because the dilemmas that he faces were not my dilemmas. I did not have a life-changing experience in the Galapagos as he does. I did not discover that I had a 5-year-old son living in Sweden. So he has really pushed the limit. The strains on him are much greater than any strains that were ever placed on me, and as a result, I think we see his behavior in extremis. He can be a real asshole. He behaves in ways that make him unlikable, but he is also someone who is striving to overcome those things.
That I found the great saving of the character, is that he knew that he wasn't the man that he wanted to be. Wasn't sure how to change that.
There.
Didn't know how to evolve.
Yeah.
But he knew he really had to if he was going to survive.
Yeah. And I think, in him, I mean, the 80s were an interesting time in terms of how we thought about gender, for instance. I was doing a master's in literature, and in our literary theory courses, the term that was pervasive was the idea of social construction. That there was no such thing really as an essential nature, and that men, for instance, could be women and women could be men, and that gender roles were the result of social construction, and that it was something we needed to get beyond. And a lot of us bought into that. And I think one of the things I was trying to look at in this book is the extent to which that is a fallacy, that the idea that we are blank slates who are made by our environments. It's the old nature-nurture argument, but the Darwinian argument falls, strongly in favor of nature, and for instance, in favor of innate biological differences between the sexes, for instance. And I think we ignore that data at our peril. So part of what I was trying to do in the book, and I think you were suggesting this, was to explore the male psyche and the way in which it becomes quite conflicted in an environment which insists that there are no innate differences between the sexes, and which insists on a kind of homogenization of gender. That can result really in the return of the repressed, I guess, of the unsuccessful dealing of difference, of gender difference. So that I was trying to explore that in the novel.
Can't wait to see what you write next, Nino. Nice work. Well done.
Thank you.
The book is The Origin of the Species. I've been speaking with the author Nino Ricci and The Origin of the Species, published by Doubleday Canada.